do you know why they're fighting Israel? Okay, well, so you're saying Israel is fighting America's enemies in the Middle East, and their whole plan is for them to destroy Israel so that eventually they could get to the United States. That is the plan. Like this, all of this is coming from the Islamic Republic in Iran. All of this is being funded, trained, and supported by the Islamic Republic in Iran with the intention to eventually annihilate the United States. They call Israel the little Satan, and they call the US the big Satan. Their understanding, I mean, I'm Iranian. This was my childhood indoctrination since like elementary school, high school. We were told constantly that phase one of the plan was to remove the Pahlavi dynasty. Phase two is to remove Israel from the Middle East. Phase three is to go for the head of the beast, which is the United States, and destroy, this Western imperialist order and bring Islam to the whole world. That is the plan. So Israel is standing in the way of them and basically them destroying the United States. That is who Israel is fighting.
That sounds good in theory. We were told that same line. We fight them over there so we don't have to fight them here. And that's why we were in the Middle East for the last 20 years post 9/11. And
but it is true. It is true.
They don't have nukes. They don't have the ability to reach us from over there. So how is it beneficial for us to send our American kids, our military equipment over there to fight to defend us and our nation, our sovereignty, our borders, when we have war on the southern border ourselves? Like, I don't see how benefiting a fight.
They're not able to reach you because Israel has stopped them. They don't have a nuclear weapon because every time they were getting close to they want a nuclear weapon. Every time they were getting close to a nuclear weapon, Israel stopped them every single time.
Right, but we're talking
about. So you should be grateful to Israel.
Going on since biblical times. Like, you guys have had that conflict. Israel has had that conflict since the times of the Bible. Like, it has always been there. That conflict has always been there. The United States came way later. So you can't say that we are intentionally, Israel is fighting our war, because it's a war they've been fighting.
But the conflict is a global conflict. The conflict, the Islamic ambition is world domination. And you're saying you haven't felt it yet. Okay, I mean, you did feel it kind of in 9/11, right? But the reason why you haven't felt it as much is because Israel has been in the way. I mean, the Islamic Republic was getting close to having a nuclear weapon. I mean, the situation that you're not experiencing that you would have if Israel was not there is basically what you experienced with the Soviet Union as your enemy, and before that with the Nazis as your enemy, right? This was supposed to become a huge global bloc against Western powers. So after the fall of the Soviet Union, this was supposed to replace it, either an Arab empire or an Islamic empire as anti-Western imperial order against the Western imperialism, as they call it. It never happened because they actually recognize this. They recognize that their ambitions to create an Islamic empire was stopped every single time because Israel, they consider Israel to be a tumor in the Middle East that is stopping them every time that they're trying to create this empire. And this empire is meant to be created as a way to fight Darul Kufr, like the house of unbelief. You're infidels, they're Muslims, they're supposed to be fighting you. Israel is stopping them.
So why are they displacing, if that is true, why are they driving Gazans out and driving them into Europe? Why are we taking the refugees? If there are enemies,
they're not
to kill us, why are we taking them? Why are they?
So it's not Gazans that are coming to Europe. There were Syrians mostly and North Africans.
Okay, but they are sending them elsewhere, so they are displacing the Gazan people.
But it's not Israel. Israel is not sending them there. That was Assad. That was the Arab Spring. So that was not the Arab Spring and Assad basically oppressing his own people. That is not Israel's fault.
Right.
And also they're not removing people from Gaza. The plan is to allow people from Gaza who want to leave to be able to leave. And also they're not killing toddlers in Gaza.
Yes,
The,
they are.
the toddlers are being killed in Gaza because Hamas is using them as human shields. Israel has done more than any army in the world to try to reduce civilian casualties.
Hamas makes up
No army in the
population. Hamas makes up 1% of the population in Gaza, and they have bombed them and attacked them and murdered children. That is not like say that isn't true. That is very true. And they have bombed hospitals, they've bombed churches where refugees and victims of these attacks were receiving medical care. And they use the excuse over and over, oh, they're using these kids as human shields. It's not our fault. They make up 1% of the population, and they have wiped out Gaza. Gaza, it's just they're turning it into a parking lot and starting over, displacing those people. They're driving them out. They don't want them there. Netanyahu has made it very clear there is no two-state solution. It is not going to happen. They have to go. Like, they don't want them there, and they'll kill them if they can. But, right now they're just driving them out and displacing them in other places. A lot of people are going to end up here.
So nobody is leaving Gaza. Like, the border is very secure right now, right? So the refugees that are coming to Europe are coming from other places in the Middle East. They're not coming from Gaza. Okay, like the blockade there from the Egyptian border and the Israeli border is very, very tight. People are not getting out of Gaza right now. And also, Hamas is not 1% of Gaza. Hamas is a much bigger percentage of Gaza. In fact, it's actually very difficult to decide who's Hamas and who's not. Like, would we consider somebody who sympathizes with Hamas to be Hamas or not? Or do they have to hold a weapon to be Hamas? Like, because the amount of sympathy for Hamas, I mean, I'm glad that is lower than before, to be honest, but it's way more than 1%. Like, I do when it goes lower, I do advertise it here as a way to show that the support for Hamas in Gaza has gone. Every time I look at the statistics, and when it goes down, we celebrate it on this channel, but it's not even remotely close to 1%. It's way higher than that. But what I'm saying is that Hamas, when they responded to October 7th, obviously they had to respond to October 7th. Like, when they attack, you have to respond. Like, you have to advertise your deterrent capabilities. The problem with Gaza is that it has the second highest population density in the world, all right? And also, Hamas on purpose doesn't wear a uniform when it's fighting. And this is Hamas admitting that Israel cares about civilians. Because if Hamas didn't think that Israel cares about civilians, then they would have worn a uniform. Like, this is Hamas knowing. So the strategy of not wearing your uniform only works if not wearing your uniform makes it more difficult for the IDF to target you. And if it actually does make it difficult for IDF, that only would be true if IDF is trying to not kill civilians, right? So second highest population density, one.